Hey guys, welcome back. Today we will be doing expansion of algebra expressions. We'll be going through all these questions that are seen on the screen right now, so let's get started. What I have in question A is 2m times 3 minus n times 4 minus m. The method I'm going to use to do my expansion is something called the rainbow method. So what I am doing is taking my term on the outside and multiplying them to the terms on the inside of the bracket. So what we have over here is positive 2m multiplied by positive 3. And of course that would just give me 6m. Alright, next would be positive 2m multiplied by negative n. And that in turn will give me negative 2mn. Now we want to direct our attention to the other half of the expression. And what we have is negative n multiplied by 4. That would be negative 4n. And negative n multiplied by negative m. Negative and negative would give me positive mn. Now what I want to do is to simplify this. Alright, looking at this, I only have one term with m alone. So 6m will remain the same. Next, I have negative 2mn. Looking at the last term, I have a positive mn as well. So what I'm going to do is to add positive mn to negative 2mn. And that would give me negative just 1mn. Because my coefficient is 1, I have no need to write it in. And lastly, what I am left with is negative 4n. And this is my answer for A. Moving on to the next question, question B. B wants us to expand and simplify 2 times x plus 2y minus square bracket 2y minus 3 bracket 5y minus 3x close bracket, close bracket. I am going to use the same rainbow method to expand my algebra expression. So looking at this, I have 2 times positive x, that would give me 2x, and positive 2 times positive 2y, and that would give me positive 4y. Now I have a negative over here followed by a square bracket with a round bracket inside. Now, do I want to work on the square bracket first or the round bracket first? Guys, I need you to remember that we are always doing it from the inside out. We are always going to do it from the inside out. So what I'm going to do is to work on my round brackets on the inside first before I work on the square brackets on the outside. So I'm going to just copy down the question and stop when I've reached my round bracket. Now, same thing, what I want to do is to use the rainbow method to expand what I have in my round bracket. Now I have negative 3 multiplied by 5y, that will just give me negative 15y, and negative 3 multiplied by negative 3x, that will give me positive 9x. And I will close my square bracket here. Looking at what I am left with, I have a negative sign in front of my square bracket. Whenever I have something like that, I want you guys to know that there is an invisible one right in front of the negative sign. Now I'm going to use the same rainbow method to multiply my negative 1 into all the terms I have in my square bracket. And that would simply leave me with 2x plus 4y. Negative 1 multiplied by positive 2y, that will give me negative 2y. Negative 1 times negative 15y, that would give me positive 15y. And negative 1 multiplied by positive 9x, that would give me negative 9x. And this is what I'm left with. Now what I'm going to do is to simplify those terms with the same variable. I'm going to plus or minus them together. Alright, looking at the x's, I have one over here and one over here. So 2x minus 9x, that would give me negative 7x. For the y's, I have positive 4y minus 2y, that would give me positive 2y, plus 15y, that would give me positive 17y. And this is my answer for B. Now moving on to question C. C has 17a minus 5 times b minus 2 times 3c minus 4 times b minus 3a, close bracket. Alright, whenever we are doing expansion, what do we want to do? We want to work from the inside out. Alright, we want to start from the inside and work our way outwards. Alright, so from here, what I want to do is to start with my normal brackets first. Alright, so I have 17, a minus 5, b minus 2, 3c. And here is where I want to start my expansion. What I want to do is to take my negative 4, multiply by whatever is in my normal brackets over here. Likewise, I want to use the rainbow method. Alright, negative 4 times b, that would give me negative 4b, and negative 4 times negative 3a, that would give me positive 12a. Next, what do we have? We have 17a minus 5, b, and our next bracket that we need to expand. Using the rainbow method, I have negative 2 multiplied by positive 3c, negative 2 multiplied by negative 4b, and negative 2 multiplied by positive 12a. Negative 2 times 3c, that will give me negative 6c. Negative 2 times negative 4b, that will give me positive 8b. Negative 2 times positive 12a will give me negative 24a. And now for my last bracket, likewise, I want to use rainbow method to multiply negative 5 into all these terms over here. And what I have is 17a minus 5b, positive 30c, negative 40b, and lastly positive 120a. And this is what we have after we have expanded. Now what we are going to do is to simplify it, right? What do we use? We use same family sit together, right? So all my a's will go together. 17a followed by positive 120a minus 5b minus 40b, and lastly plus 30c. 17a plus 120a, that would give me 137a, minus 5b minus 40b would give me minus 45b, and lastly 30c. And this is my answer for C. Alright, next question, question D. D has 5 times a plus 3b minus 4a minus 2b minus 3 times a minus 2b. I want to use rainbow method once again to expand this bracket over here and the one that is inside. Remember, we are working from the inside out, so never do the square bracket before we do the inside round brackets. Alright, so over here what I have would be 5a plus 15b minus 4a minus 2b, and negative 3 times a, that will give me negative 3a, and negative 3 times negative 2b, that will give me positive 6b. And there goes my round brackets. I can see that I still have a square bracket, but what I have in front of the square bracket is a negative 1. So what I want to say is that there is an invisible 1 right in front of that negative sign. And what I want to do is to use the rainbow method once again to expand this bracket over here. And what I will have is 5a plus 15b minus 4a, negative 1 times negative 2b, that will give me positive 2b, negative 1 times negative 3a, that will give me positive 3a, and negative 1 times positive 6b, that will give me negative 6b. And there you go, I got no more brackets. So what I'm going to do now is same family sit together. All my a's will be together, all my b's will be together. I have 5a minus 4a plus 3a And of course, next b, I get plus 15b plus 2b and minus 6b. Simplifying this, what I will get is 4a, 15 plus 2, 17 minus 6, 11 plus 11b. And this is my answer for D. Alright, last question, question E. In E, we have 25xy minus 3x times 5x minus y plus 2 times 5 times x minus 4y minus 7 times x minus y. Alright, I'm going to look at the brackets that we have over here. Right now, what I can see is that I have one over here, and I got one big one here and two small ones inside. So I'm not going to do the one on the outside first, but I'm going to work on the ones on the inside, the round brackets. Using the rainbow method, I am going to expand what I have in my round brackets first, and then move on to the square bracket afterwards. What I'll have is 25xy, and then here comes my first expansion. Negative 3x multiplied by positive 5x, that will give me negative 15x squared, and negative 3x times negative y, that will give me positive 3xy. After that, I have a plus 2 with my square bracket, and my next expansion, 5 times x, that will give me 5x, and 5 times negative 4y, that will give me negative 20y, and my next expansion, negative 7 times x, that will give me negative 7x, and negative 7 times negative y, that will give me positive 7y. Alright, now I can work on my square bracket. Alright, I'm going to copy down all that I have so far until I reach my square bracket, which I am going to expand. Alright, here we are. I have positive 2 times 5x, that will give me positive 10x. Positive 2 times negative 20y, that will give me negative 40y. And positive 2 times negative 7x, that will give me negative 14x. And lastly, positive 2 times positive 7y, that will give me positive 14y. Alright, now I have everything expanded. What I can do now is simplify. So like the previous questions, I'm going to use same family sit together to rearrange my algebra expression so that it can be simplified. I will start with the one with the x square first. Alright, seeing that there is only one x square in the expression, I'll just write it down here, 15x squared, followed by xy's. Alright, so I have plus 25xy plus 3xy, and that's all I have. Next, I'll look at my x. I have plus 10x and minus 14x. And lastly, the y's, which is minus 40y plus 14y. Alright, simplifying this, what I have is 15x squared plus 28xy minus 4x minus 26y. And this is my answer for question E.